Sekuru Kaguvi, the spirit warrior who defied the colonizers. The earth remembers. The land speaks. And if you listen closely, you can still hear the echoes of the past, the whispers of a warrior, a spirit medium, a leader. His name was Sekuru Kaguvi. He was more than a man. He was a voice of the ancestors, a symbol of resistance, and a guiding light in Zimbabwe's fight for freedom. Long before Zimbabwe bore its modern name, before the rivers carried stories of struggle and triumph, Kaguvi walked among his people. He was born Gumboreshumba, a name that meant strength, a name that carried destiny. But destiny would soon call him something greater. The spirit of Kaguvi, the Mondoro, chose him. And from that moment on, he would no longer be just a man. He would be a messenger of the ancestors, a guardian of the land. In those days, the Shona and Neboli people thrived in their way of life. They lived in harmony with the land, guided by spirits, connected to the wisdom of their forefathers. But then, the silence of the land was broken. The colonizers came. Their boots trampled sacred ground, their greed turned fertile lands into battlegrounds, and their weapons shattered the peace that had lasted for generations. The British South Africa Company, under Cecil John Rhodes, saw the land as a prize to be taken. The people who lived on it were seen as obstacles, not owners. Their cattle were stolen, their homes burned, their freedom stripped away. But in the shadows of oppression, a fire was lit. A spirit rose. And at the center of it stood Kaguvi. He did not fight alone. Beside him was Mbuya Nihanda, another powerful Mondoro medium. Together, they spoke with the voices of the ancestors, reminding the people that they were not slaves, that their land was not lost, that their spirits were not broken. And so, the First Chimurenga was born. It was more than a war, it was a call to arms, a battle for identity, a fight for survival. With nothing but spears, arrows, and the will of their ancestors, the warriors of Zimbabwe took their stand. They fought against rifles with courage. They fought against bullets with belief. They fought against an empire with the strength of a people who knew they had nothing left to lose. But war is not only fought on the battlefield. It is fought in the shadows. It is fought with deception. The British, unable to crush the warriors with force, turned to trickery. False peace talks. Empty promises. A cruel trap. And one by one, the leaders of the resistance were captured. Sekuru Kaguvi was shackled, dragged before a foreign court, accused of crimes in his own land. The colonizers saw him as a rebel, a criminal. But the people saw him for what he truly was, a protector, a warrior, a symbol of defiance. The British offered him a deal: renounce his ancestors, embrace their faith, and perhaps they would spare him. And here, history hesitates. Did Kaguvi lose faith? Or did he see another path to protect his people? In those final moments, he accepted baptism. Some say he was afraid. Others say he was buying time. We may never know the truth. But what we do know is this: the colonizers did not keep their word. On April 27, 1898, Sekuru Kaguvi was hanged. The body fell, but the spirit rose. The fight did not end with him. Decades later, his name became a rallying cry. The sons and daughters of the land took up arms once more in the Second Chimurenga, inspired by the warriors who came before them. Kaguvi's voice, long silenced by the news, found new strength in the voices of freedom fighters. And in 1980, when Zimbabwe finally reclaimed its independence, the spirit of Kaguvi stood among them. Today, his name lives on. Streets bear it. Schools teach it. Monuments honor it. But more than that, his spirit lingers in the land he fought for. His message remains clear: the ancestors watch over us, the land remembers, and the fight for freedom never truly ends. Sekuru Kaguvi was not just a man. He was a movement. He was a force. And in the heartbeat of Zimbabwe, In the voices of those who refuse to be silenced, he lives on.